Let's close that. And what was I gonna look for? Oh yeah, I remember now. One last thing to do before I get started. Is it this one that I want? I'm not sure. One second. Okay, I think that works. Hey, hey. Give me 1 second, folks. I gotta. Does this work? Ooh. It's not that one, but it's one of these. Is it this one? Yeah, this is the one. I think that works as background music. I really got to make this a playlist or like a long mix I can just put on and then like have it go into other songs. Hey, hey. Can you folks hear me? Is sound good? Can you see me? Am I alive? Perfect, perfect. All right, I think let me double check. I got everything set up here. I got the music. I got the I need the old last week's video screen. I need the card search screen, and I need my Twitter search and the Digimon CG guide. Try the Riot music playlist. I don't think I've ever played a Riot game in my life. That's probably cap. That might not be true. Morning. Hey, hey. Hey, thanks for all your coverage insight into the gamies. Also, are you still thinking of showing your Tentamon deck? Very excited to build BT15 UK. Yeah, I can. I don't have a problem with it. Hold on a second. I still have a build? I think I do. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I sort of have it built. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah, yeah. Hey, hey. It's not this one. It's the green deck. Oh. League of Legends, never played in my life. Valorant, never played in my life. Hey, good afternoon, or good evening from Tokyo. Where are you folks watching or tuning in from? All right, so I'm pretty sure that T is silent. Space Cornet? Space Cornet? I don't know. So here's the deal. I don't mind showing off the decks at all. The problem is, it was built during a time where my biggest worry was Apocalypse. So there's a lot of stuff in the deck that is focused on trying to get rid of Apocalypse, or just big Digimon in general. And now that, as of today, that deck took a significant hit, I don't know if I have to tech so much for that one deck. So this list may already be outdated. I don't know. But while folks get in here, I don't mind doing this really quickly. I think it'll be pretty simple. Give me a second. Let me just organize all this really quickly. Tamer goes there. Level 6 goes there. Oh, interesting. What was there before? El Salvador, damn. I think the closest I've ever gotten to El Salvador is Costa Rica. Yeah, I went to Costa Rica for a summer trip to do community service back when I was in college. Probably one of the funnest trips I've ever been on in my life. We went out to this little place called Cabuya, which is on the west side, I believe, of Costa Rica, which faces the Pacific Ocean. But Cabuya is, or at least at that time, was very, very far from a city. Like, it was basically a 24-hour trip once you landed to get to Cabuya from the airport. I took like a Jeep that I'm pretty sure I was going to fall off a cliff on. I was woken up multiple times in the mornings by monkeys just screaming in the jungle. I got to sit in a waterfall. There's some waterfalls that when they fall, the water like pushes out sand underneath where it falls, and so it almost makes like a little almost like a tub, and so you can just sit in that, and it's like a little divot, and it's really nice. There's a waterfall right above you, and yeah, pretty cool. Also stepped in cow shit while I was there. This was a level 3. I see. What the hell was the level 3? Hold on. Argentina, good lord. SC? Was that SoCal? That's the American brain going full speed. Why did I take out 2 Tentomon? What the hell was I thinking? Alabama! Welcome, welcome. Let me see if I can. South Carolina, hey, that's where I'm from. Hey, that's where I'm from. Oh no. Alright, so this is going to be the most incomplete deck list. I must have taken something out for the spots in this vegetation deck. You're about to be really mad at me. I don't remember what was in here. Shit. Hold on. Georgia, hey, I was born in Georgia. I was born there. Tentomon. Was it this one? Northwest England, dang. I always wanted to go to Europe. Never had a chance to. I've been to a lot of places, but Europe's the one continent that avoids me. Much like Antarctica, I suppose. Oh yeah, this deck. It's probably better that I don't show off this deck list. It's so bad. Oh, I think 2 of these. Yeah, 3. Yeah. Oh my God, what was I thinking? Latvia, good lord, you guys from all over. Oh, there's the Tentomon. I'm tripping. I used to live in Charleston. My folks live there now, but every so often I come back. I say every so often, I mean once a year to Charleston for Christmas, the holiday season. And last year I went to the locals there, and it was actually a really good time. The guys are super nice. I brought a deck that was like downgraded down to whatever. I went a few what do you call them, sets back, and I basically bought my Chaos Dramon deck, and they let me play with it just because those are the cards that were released only in America, not the Japanese ones. How good is Jesmon? Really, with the BT6 Saber Huckmon back? Ooh, that's hard to answer. Well, imagine that you play Jesmon now, and your big power play is to attack with Jesmon and take maybe 2 security. And then, if you're really lucky, you can Jogris or DNA Digivolve to the Sistermons that you played as a result of that Jesmon, and you can get Chimeramon for another security swing. So you're hitting for 3. Now double that. That's how good it is. Yeah. Have I tried the new browser simulator? I have beyond zero interest in playing this game online. I made an entire video about not wanting to play this game online, even though you guys did change my opinion to some degree. But yeah, my friend Javi asked me if I had a simulator, if I had tabletop. I was like, I don't. I'm sorry. I play Digimon a lot for the social aspect of the game. The community here is really nice, and they're great. I wouldn't trade that for anything. Latvia, damn. So here's the deal. Today I had planned to go over. So every time I make a video, some people, or meta report, people ask, "Hey, you showed off a couple decks, but you didn't show off this one. Can I see a deck list?" And I'm always, in the past, I would like do my best to answer those folks and get back to them. But recently I haven't been doing that because I figured it'd be better if I just like made a stream where we could take a look at those deck lists, and I'd have like one big place where people could all see. And if anybody else had that question, I had one place to point them, so I don't have to keep answering the same question twice. And I figure that's a pretty good way to do it, rather than search 1,000 times and link 1,000 times. I can just dedicate one block of time doing all that at once. Also, I have some other fun as well, like this this awful, that's not right. It's this one. Yeah, this. So here's the thing. Early on in the set, I was gonna show off my Tentomon deck list. Wait a second. Where'd the tunes go? Oh, you're supposed to loop, buddy. There we go. I made the Tentomon deck list like day one. I messed with it for about 2 weeks or so, and then I was like, meh. And so the problem is, I at some point dismantled it, as you can see by these empty sleeves here, to build another green deck that is focused on plants and Rosemon. Rather than going into Quartzmon and Bloomlord, I decided to focus on the Rosemon because we got the access to the Rosemon X antibody. And yeah, so I dismantled some cards from this deck. I'm so sorry. So this is like you guys remember those old Goosebumps books where you could like choose your own adventure? This is like a choose your own adventure deck list. Yeah. So for folks who don't know, Tentomon is solely focused on putting out Digimon, and then they can rest themselves, or they can rest, and when they're rested, they're not affected by any other Digimon's effects from your opponent's side, which is actually really good. Michizuri doesn't kill them, you can't send them back to hand, you can't put them under tamers. They're basically unaffectable, which, for all intents and purposes, at this point in the game, where things can kind of get complicated, I mean, just taking a look at like ordering Finderlugamon's effects or ordering like Anubismon's effects, the game can get a little complicated. So I think that this deck is really nice, especially for beginners or people who don't want to have to worry about a bunch of convoluted effects, because Hercules Kabuterimon just says no to everything. So it's so like a blanket statement, just no. And the one issue I find is that he has, unfortunately, 12k DP. And he can't be killed, but he can be swung over. And 12k is not a very big number. On most players' turns, they can probably get something to like 13, 14k minimum. It's not that hard. So the one thing that he worries about is being hit by a bigger Digimon. So that's all you have to worry about. If you can get past that, then you're all set, right? So you run 4 copies of Tentomon from BT15, who start a main phase. You rest something. You can rest anything. Rest one of your Digimon, rest one of your opponent's Digimon, and then one Digimon on board gets plus 3,000 DP, and you can choose a target. It has to be an insect or insectoid, and usually your target's going to be Hercules Kabuterimon. So that means that when you have this guy out and you just play him, or pull him out from raising, mostly just pull off raising because it's getting a main phase effect, you can make him 15k, which is actually a really good number to be at. 15k is a lot harder for everything to get over. So you have a rested 15k that's untouchable. In the following turn, it unrests. It rests your opponent's Digimon. It gets piercing. You can pop something. So that's the idea. You basically just build a big bug and you keep it alive. Because bugs don't really have other great effects, the first thing I focused on was card draw. So BT14 Kunemons, they on play He's kind of like it's like a mix of it's like a better memory boost, sort of. Yeah. So 3 cost. You play him and rest him. Hey, Aaron. You play him and rest him, and then you can look top 3 and then grab 1 green card. That's cool. It doesn't have to be a Digimon. It doesn't have to be an option. It's got the like pull searchability of a training card. So you can grab a tamer, you can grab an option, which is really useful for this deck because typically, if you see an option pop up, you're actually gonna grab it. And then this is the choose your own adventure part. There are 4 other slots in this deck, potentially 6. I don't know what things were. I'm so sorry. It's so scuffed. But there were potentially 4 other slots. And I think, if memory serves me correctly, it was 2 and 2 of Floodgates. So Terriermon and Pomumon. Because this deck doesn't really need to like play Digimon by effects or anything like that. So having a Pomumon out is actually only to your benefit because it stops your opponent from doing stuff. And then Terriermon is, again, also only to your benefit because it only affects your opponent. So, yeah, there's those 2. The level 4s are a little bit more interesting. Obligatory run Kabuterimon in Tentomon deck because theme, I guess. Kabuterimon has the effect where if he's rested, he can't be affected by effects. Or your opponent's Digimon's effects. Keep in mind you can be affected by options. But yeah, pretty good. And then on Inheritance, like the Tentomon, if something dies by battle involving this Digimon, I think it's just Digimon. Yeah, involving this Digimon, you just gain a memory. The bonus here is that it's not just on your turn, it's on your opponent's turn too. So if they run into something, if they run into one of your Kabuterimon, then and they die, you just get a memory. Kind of cool. In a lot of cases, because you have the Tentomon, you can freeze, you can rest stuff. And if you're searching for stuff on your side of the board, maybe a Tamer, or you're searching for Hercules Kabuterimon, you can use the promo Kawagamon, not this guy, the promo Kawagamon, who lets you basically freeze a Digimon who is already rested. So once your, what's his name, Tentomon drops, and you rest something, you rest one of your opponent's Digimon, you can Digivolve it immediately into Kawagamon, and then it stays rested for the next turn. And then additionally, he gives a very much needed plus 2000 DP on Inheritance. The plus 2000 DP is the biggest reason I run this guy, because again, big bug is good bug. And then I think that I had 4 copies of Togemon, just because I needed to rest something, and then I could Digivolve it into level 5, and then keep the can't be affected by effects when it's rested, but also I can play a Tamer for a cheaper cost. So there's that. Also, because Hercules Kabuterimon is a 4-cost Digivolve, Togemon is, if you have a Tamer out, it's cost -1, so it becomes a 3-cost till it gets you level 6. And I think that it only have 1 in here, but I think there were 3. I think that's what these last 2 sleeves were. But if you find something that would fit better, you can. I tried out things like Stingmon. I didn't think that was very useful, even though it was a cheap cost Digivolve and you get the +1 memory. To make sure that I always had a Tamer out, because the Tamer is super important for this deck. The new Izzy from BT15 is really good. Where did you get that playmat from? I actually bought it from a guy out in Tokyo who I found at locals. His name is Zawa, Z-A-W-A. And Zawa makes a bunch of really cool stuff, and this is one of them. And he was actually, when I saw him the first time, he had this playmat, and I said, hey, where'd you buy that? He goes, I made it. I said, oh, can I buy it? And he said, actually, yes, I have a shop. And I'll post it up on Twitter. He occasionally restocks his shop, and he's got some really, really good merch out there. And I think he has opened up to international from this year, so he can ship international as well. He makes some really clean and sick looking stuff. He does everything from like there's 2/3 reflex security attack. He's also got one for like DP. So yeah, really neat little things. Memory markers as well. He's got memory markers that are themed based off of the eyes of Digimon. So take a look at like something like Agumon's eye, or I don't know, Vmon's eye, or Impmon's eye. Like he has those as memory counters, like the little, what this is. Yeah, you get it. You get it. All right, so very quickly, 12 level 4s, 10 level 3s, no, 12 level 3s, 10 level 4s. The level 5s are just Hercules or Atlas Kabuterimon. What are these guys called in English? I've already forgotten. Climbon. I tried Climbon out, didn't like him. A lot of people were super excited for the... Could you link that up, pretty please? Yeah, I will on Twitter later. Not now. What is it called in English? Atlas Kabuterimon? No, right? I don't actually know what his English name is. That's crazy. This is a problem I always have recording videos. I have to re-record lines. Mega Kabuterimon. Is that really it? That sounds right. It is Mega Kabuterimon, yeah. In Japanese, Atlas Kabuterimon. I think it's based off of Atlas, yeah. Yeah, I have to record so many lines because I say the Japanese, and like I made an effort not to do that. And yeah, it takes significantly more recording time. But anyway, back to Mega Kabuterimon. 4 copies of the starter deck one, because he's got to shoot even 4 starter. I think that of all of the starter decks, green was probably the best one, at least in my opinion. Getting the ability to like destroy like security cards without actually checking them from set 1 is crazy. 3 costs is whatever, but you know, you got the Togemon effect. And then outside of that, you have the Mega Kabuterimon Ace, who, as far as Ace cards go, this is probably one of the better ones out there. You blast Digivolve, and then you can, what is it, you rest something? No, that's right. You give something plus 3000 DP, something, so it doesn't have to be the Digimon. This Digimon, if they attack another Digimon, you can give that plus 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn, and then you can change the attack target to the Mega Kabuterimon. So if they didn't attack him, you can just make them attack him, which has a whole bunch of like really flexible uses. Overflow 3, so yeah, don't die. And then the level 6s, and this is where you're gonna start seeing some of the text for the now what I assume to be non-existent Apocalypse, but who knows? It's only day 1. First 4 are BT15's Hercules Kabuterimon, because he's good. Start a main phase or on Digivolve, you rest one of your opponent's Digimon, and then he gets piercing for the turn. And then other effect is he is just not like the Mega Kabuterimon and the Kabuterimon before him. When he's rested, he's not affected by your opponent Digimon's effect. That's so good. That's such an insane effect. But yeah, he's like the guy you're always trying to get to, and once you get to him, he can... Where's it at? He can rest stuff at the start of the turn, and then he can run into them with piercing. He can use the Mega Kabuterimon's effect to, when it's destroyed, and he's not, you burn a security on your opponent's side, and then you can also just check a security after that. So yeah, he's really good. Really, really good. 12k, not affected by effects. They gotta hold that. And then 2 copies of Hercules Kabuterimon. So 1 cost from Hercules Kabuterimon X antibody, excuse me. Security attack plus 1. You don't really care about that so much. What's more important is the resting effect. So he can take a rested opponent's Digimon and then send it back to the bottom of their deck, which is really good, especially if you can rest something that's really big like an Apocalypse. And you can do that by by a Tentomon effect, or at the start of your turn, you can just rest it with Hercules Kabuterimon, which is good. So you do that, and then Digivolve immediately into Hercules Kabuterimon X antibody, and then you just send the Apocalypse to the bottom of the deck. The security attack plus 1 is nice, but yeah, mostly just to get rid of things on board. And it's cheap, right? 1 cost from higher. Hercules Kabuterimon. And yeah. 2 copies of Merciful Mode, just because I really, really hate Apocalypse. And if I can use this for Anubismon, that's even better. But that's typically not the case. Even if you Digivolve into this guy, and you bottom deck a lot of Anubismon stuff, you can still die. So he's more for Apocalypse. I'll tell you, Apocalypse was a problem. Now it's Garurumon. Obligatory 3 training cards, or 4 training cards, because every deck needs them. If they're not 2-color. 3 copies of... This is called Super Shocker in English. I think that's the name of Tentomon's move from the actual show. This is a really good card. 2 cost. You rest one of your opponent's level 6s or lower, and then give one of your insects plus 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. So you get to your Hercules Kabuterimon, and you've attacked with him, and then you just Super Shocker him, and now he's a 15k, and they have something rested. That doesn't matter because they're gonna unrest usually, but he's 15k for the end of the turn. So yeah, really good. But yeah, I have 3 of these. Honestly, if I could fit room for 4, I'd probably take out a Merciful Mode and add in another one. This card is so good. If you see this card, you almost always grab it. And then what else is here? Oh yeah, the Tamers. 3 copies of Izzy. Probably 4 copies. The more I play with this deck, I think 4 was probably better. But Izzy kind of ties this deck together because he's, first of all, minimum 3 start memory. So every turn you're starting with 3 memory. But on top of that, he's kind of like Black War Greymon X Antibody, where he can redirect attacks into your insects. But they have to be rested. So if an opponent's Digimon attacks, you can rest Izzy, and then you can redirect that attack into like your Hercules Kabuterimon. This makes the inheritance effects from the Kabuterimon of gaining +1 memory, the Tentomon gaining +1 memory, so much more useful because you can redirect attacks and then steal a turn. So pretty nice. Really good. You want to get him down as fast as possible. At least 1 copy of this guy down. And then, oh yeah, 2 copies of Taiga. Taiga is kind of flexible, just because I added in copies of the Togemon, so I can play Tamers down for cost -3. He basically becomes a free Tamer, and it helps me fill out the Tamers for this deck. And it gives me everything I need. For example, +1000 DP on my turn, which means I can swing over stuff that's a little bit bigger than my Hercules Kabuterimon normally. And then whenever something that's level 5, or whenever something digivolves into level 5 or higher, I can minus the cost by 1. So it's everything that I want. Cheaper Digimon and stronger Digimon. Plain and simple. I wish his effect was the +1000 was on both turns, but it's green. Beggars can't be choosers. And then another key part of this deck are the Digitama, or the Digi-Eggs. The new Motimon from BT15 is... This effect is amazing. For insect-type Digimon, they can attack other opponents' Digimon at the end of the turn. So if you use all your memory before you can attack, at the end of the turn, you can just declare an attack if you have Motimon in your sources. Keep in mind, it has to be to an opponent's Digimon. You can't just attack security. That'd be kind of messed up. But yeah, that's the deck. Again, the level 4s and level 3s are kind of choose your own adventure, just because I forgot what I put in there. My bad, sorry. But I just didn't really plan for this, so this is kind of unexpected. But there you go. If you stuck around this long, then I did not plan to do any of that. All right, so where were we at? So, have you tried starter deck tie for the extra 2k when redirect and draw? Yeah, but he's too expensive. It's great when you get him down, but if you don't get him down, or you're trying to get to your other Digimon, he's like really hard to get out. You're kind of just hoping he's in security. But yeah, I tried it out, didn't like it very much. I've seen like the File Island guys, they ran, what is it? The black option from that starter deck as well, that like minus Digivolve 3 stages or something like that, and then the opponent's Digimon has to attack at the big start of the next turn. I forget the name of the option, but they put the black one of those in there, and then they put the black tie in there. I didn't care for it. Have you seen Digimon movie? Digicord. Actually, yes. Today during lunch, I had some time, and I said, you know what, let me go watch the Digimon movie, because they're also giving out, they were giving out this. Well, let me show you. Trident Arm. That's the name of the option I was talking about. Thank you. But yeah, the Digimon movie was giving out what's called like a tutorial deck. So you can see here, this is the wrapping for it here. It comes with like 29 cards, and some of the cards are actually not half bad. The movie itself, I'm not sure who it's for. I have nothing like really bad to say about it, but I also have nothing really good to say about it. I just don't know who the movie was supposed to be for. I thought it would be like a kid, like directed at kids, but that some of the themes in that movie aren't for kids. I'm doing my best not to spoil, but thumbs up or thumbs down. If you like Digimon, you'll probably enjoy the movie. But me, like, I like the card game, but I don't really have an attachment to the actual show itself. So it was really pretty interesting to me to go in kind of like with that blank slate. And yeah, I'm not sure who the movie was supposed to be for. They gave us a nice little sticker here. The artwork was pretty nice. Like, the animation was actually really sick. They did some really cool stuff, like combining 2D and 3D. What's up, Rango? How you doing, buddy? But yeah, they came out with this little trial. You can get this little like trial deck if you go as well. They give it out for free to everybody. I guess it's a way to get players into the game, right? You go watch the movie like Digimon. Hey, there's a card game. Do you know about that? Try it out. Here's some cards to do that with. A lot of the stuff is cards that have like already been released before. So some of the BT12 stuff, it's mostly like Vmon and Stingmon focused. So yeah, they've got like the BT12 Vmons. They've got some of the starter deck 9 Vmons. Good search card. Yeah, they really talk up like X Vmon and Stingmon and Paldramon in the movie. So again, without spoiling too much. So you get some of the BT12 X Vmons. You've got the starter deck 9 Vmons. You've got the old BT3 Paldramon. My biggest gripe about all this stuff is that this card is a rare, and yet it doesn't have like any foil. So none of these cards have foil on them. And some of these cards are like super rare. Yeah, they're really good. So it's kind of surprising that they just didn't foil these cards at all. There's, the Paldramon. And then of course there's the Wing, the Wormmon line. Sting. This is pretty cool. They actually printed the Imperial Dramon Dragon Mode Ace. Imperial Dramon has I wouldn't say a huge part, but he gets a scene in the movie. So that's cool. And the artwork here, this is probably like the one card that I wanted out of all these cards. So, oh yeah, there's also a couple of movie cards. So they're currently, I think they're giving some of these out. Uh-oh, hold on a second. That's weird. I think they're giving some of these out as far as in like local tamer battles, so like local card shop games. You can get these cards, but one second. Now, why did I go out? Let's just see if we can find out. Did I kick something? There it is. Hey ho. So they're giving some of these out. This guy, they're not great. If I'm keeping it like really honest, I thought about doing a video on them, but honestly, their effects are kind of all samey and not that great. So your turn once per turn. If you have a free Digimon, if you digivolve into a free Digimon, and if you have a tamer, it's cost -1. So you have to digivolve into a free type and have a tamer. So basically for Vmon decks. And then on attack, if this Digimon is 2 colors or more, draw a card. Not that great. Not great. The Ukomon is probably the most interesting, but I haven't really found a good way to use its effect. Once per turn, when you move a Digimon from the raising area, so over here, to the battle area, +1 memory. Yeah, but it can digivolve off of anything. Ukomon is also a fairly large character in the movie. You've got grown-ass Davis. I actually haven't looked at Davis. So if you have a free type Digimon, gain a memory at the start of your main phase. And then on play, you can choose one of these effects. You can either play a Vmon from your hand for free, or you can digivolve to an X Vmon for free. Wow, okay. That's actually not that bad. 3 cost too is pretty decent. And then the other character, Rui. Oh. Rui is a character in that movie. Oh boy. I'm just gonna put it this way. There's a reason you can't see this eye. There's a reason. So Rui is similar to the Ukomon, where when you move a level 3 or higher out from the battle area, from the racing area to the battle area. Hold on a second. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. On play, you can move something from the raising area to the battle area. So if you kept something there during your breeding phase, or you Digivolve, you can then play Rui and then pull it out immediately. And then on your turn, whenever you pull something out from the raising area to the battle area, by resting this Tamer, you can gain a memory. So he kind of works with Ukomon, but I don't really know what he's supposed to do. This is also a really good card. Probably this is the last card for the set, but they give you 1 copy of Blue Memory Boost. But it's got this really cool artwork. The problem is it's not foil. If only it was foil, it would look fantastic. But alas, it doesn't. So yeah, it's just a Blue Memory Boost. You only get 1 copy of it. SR, great artwork, but you know, kind of sad. What do I think about Shine having 0 wins last week? All the sweats who were previously using Shine because it was good now play Anubismon. That's it. That's it. And because the restrictions got updated, people were like, well, what's the point of playing Shine if I can't practice with it? So, yeah. Let me see. Movie promos are great for Armor Rush. Oh, I guess that's a good point. Yeah, they're all free type, aren't they? And they're, because it's a 3-cost Davis, it's actually pretty good. I guess you can get a Vmon down for 3 cost and like future memory gain. That's kind of nice, actually. Ukomon feels super good, but in practice he's not too good because he's easy to kill. Yeah, he's kind of like Kalumon, right? Or what is he called in English? Another problem. Another problem. What is that thing called? It's not Kalumon in English, right? It's something else. The thing that Guillemon, Impmon, the little oh god, what is it? I'm blanking on the name. He doesn't have a level. He's like 1 cost if you have a Guillemon or something out on the board. Heyo. Is it Kalumon? Am I tripping? Okay, I'll take your guys' word for it. It is Kalumon. Okay, yeah. He's kind of like Kalu. He feels kind of like Kalumon. Easily killable. Has a like decent like support ability, but because there's so much removal right now, he probably doesn't see like the light of day. Yeah. But yeah, that was the movie. It was again, I don't have anything bad to say about it, but I don't have anything good to say about it either. It was just a movie. I just don't know who it was for, because there was some really interesting themes in there. Let's see. Now that Savior is free, what tier do you think Jessamon goes into? The 43rd tier. I think it's definitely a better deck. Does it keep pace with... I was testing it out actually earlier this week. And it's... I don't know exactly how I would rate it, because there were games where I would do really well, and I can't really tell if it was a high roll or normal, against like really good decks like Anubismon or Garurumon. And then there were games where they just like completely obliterated me before I could do anything at all. So it's hard to say right now. I will say that being able to swing twice and essentially steal four security, if not more, in a single turn does give the deck really good burst potential, which I think right now lots of decks kind of have to have if they're not completely control focused. So yeah, it has offensive potential for sure. Being able to swing twice is mega powerful, as seen by Finner Lugumon. Let's see here. He gives not. That's a good point, Ivory. Yeah, the Rui Tamer does give other non-green decks a way to pull off from raising. I think the issue is that they can't, like, Mimi is like really flexible, right? Because you can either pull off from raising or hatch. So the double Mimi combo is like, even to this day, still a really strong combo for green, where they don't have anything. I'm sure there's cards out there that let you hatch Digimon, but probably like separated into different colors that aren't Mimi. I think I missed a couple comments before. What do you think of Gabumon plus Eismon engine for Deva's pre-ban list? Dude, I have no fucking clue. I think I put it in a video. I had the choice of Grace Nova and Fenglongmon, and I got alt arts of both of them, and I said, all right, it's time to make a decision. Which one of these decks do I think is not going to be good? and I'm going to sell the secret rare alt art for the one that I think is not going to be good. And I took Fenglongmon and I put him into the shop, and I'm like, I feel good with this decision. And then 2 weeks later, I regretted that decision so much. Even now, I think the price has only gone up for Fenglongmon. So my recent fattest L. All right. How many Ukomon are in the tutorial deck? Just one. Yeah, just one. So there are people. I think like, hey Jellohammer. I think that there are 3. So the movie will be. They'll be giving out things for the next 3 weeks at the movie. The first week, I think, is the tutorial deck and something. And then next 2 weeks, they're going to be giving out extra stuff as well. Which, honestly, feels kind of scummy. I don't want to watch the same movie twice. Why not just give everything to the people the first time? It's like those things where idols in Japan, they'll sell CDs. But inside CDs, like, one ticket to, like, shake their hand or talk to them or something like that. At like a meetup. And so what people will do is they'll buy like 40 CDs and they'll get the tickets and then like throw away the CDs. It feels kind of like that, which is a little scummy in my opinion. So just give me everything the first time I go. I paid to see the movie. Why do I have to pay for it 2 more times? Yeah. All right. Let me actually get back on my schedule. I feel like I've kind of veered off schedule here. So let me see here. Here. I'm trying to take a look at... So people were requesting decks in my videos, and I wanted to... There we go. I wanted to look those up here. That's the point of this. I'm looking good, but... Gonna be want to see any black war gray mono around. It's a purely war gray. Great question. Currently, so this person's asking if people are running war gray mon or black war gray mon. Like what's like the dominant version of the deck. And right now, if I'm taking all the stats, I think it's actually a pretty good mix. So war gray mon has fallen from its once dominant status in the game. But you can see here, this is Black War Greymon. So there's 4 wins with Black War Greymon. And then there's a couple... Oh, sorry, that's War Greymon. I'm tripping. I'm so sorry. This is War Greymon, and then this is Black War Greymon. Apologies. So, 4 War Greymon decks, like red focus, basically, and then 3 Black War Greymon decks. So, black focus. Maybe not the case here. Oh, weird. And then there's 1 Gaiomon deck. So, there is like that third unspoken or like unloved cousin that we don't really talk to. We saw him once when we were like 12, and then he came to like I don't know, like Thanksgiving or something, and then we never heard from him ever again. That's Gaiomon. Yeah. So to answer your question, it's kind of a split. It still is. Although personally, I like War Greymon a little bit better. Black War Greymon still has its merits. The removal is before the people can like go super ham is kind of good, and also just putting up a really big wall that is nigh indestructible, or hard to destroy, hard to break, yeah, is really good. Get others to watch the movie instead. Wow. Digimon 02, the beginning, the gateway drug. What is the website you use to look at the meta? The Japanese one. This is one website I use. You can use, this is Digimon CG Guide. You could use DigimonCard.io, I think is the name. That's a pretty good one. And then I also just do searches, not here. I also just I have my own searches that I do on Twitter. So I've got a couple like save searches that I like mess around with, and I grab the results from there as well. This is a lot more tedious than these websites because they're all kind of like pulled and like nicely formatted to some degree here, even though sometimes the information is wrong. Did I hear the news about EX6? I heard a little bit about it. I try not to like, that's pretty far off. I want to like, I do my best to like kind of stay current. I've already got enough on my plate right now, to be honest. The format is and will always be best of 1 in Asia. It'll never change. Let's see here. So that answers that question. My man, who was that? Gucci Bra. Oh, Gucci Bra. All right. Surprised, but happy to see Alter S show up. built a deck a while ago. Yeah, I like Alterous a lot. No Shine Gray, huh? Deck was already in downfall, so I guess people dropped the deck to prepare for the future. Not exactly. This comment, the results from this week's, or in this case, the previous week's meta report, were before the restricted list had been announced. So we had like the news that, hey, it's coming, but the cards weren't announced. So people had no idea, but they had an idea that maybe the deck would be touched in some way. Some people thought Marcus, some people thought the Ryan's Greymon was going to get hit, some people thought the Yugioh Greymon was going to get hit, but no one knew which card exactly, or if it was even going to happen. If it was even going to happen, yeah. Really curious to see if the new restrictions will slow Pokemon down at all. Yeah, I want to take a look and see if, like, how I rebuild the Pokemon. I have the deck, but I just don't know how to rebuild it. I gotta do some science. Like Alter S, likes this guy like the Izzy stuff. Thanks for the compliment. Makes you happy. Oh, this is this is this is so weird. Don't do this. Thank you for the compliment. I didn't compliment you. This is the guy I think who won with the Alter S deck that I showed off. Just say, hey, that's my Alter S deck. This is kind of a weird comment. I don't know. I wish you knew Mekama. Yeah. Can you show the Chaos Dramon deck list next time? Let's see here. So Chaos Dramon. Is this already? Yeah, timed up. D-Brigade, SOC, Mugen Dramon. Yeah. I don't know why I say Chaos Dramon. I think it's because I like Chaos Dramon more. So, oh, this is funny. This guy mentioned that he's been using Chaos Dramon or Mugen Dramon for like 2 years, and it shows. So this is the Mugen Dramon deck. Yeah, lots of Mugen Dramon I think are like trying to go for like these really big or like near OTK turns where they just like pump up their Mugen Dramon with a bunch of security attack pluses, and then some other useful effects like the Metal Greymon lets you attack active Digimon, piercing, slight removal. All that stuff, plus the new, you can't see it here, but this is the new Mega Dramon. Let me see if I can pull them up here. I can actually put this right here. You guys can't see my thing. Yes, this one right here. It's the alt art for this guy, not that giant curry I just showed off. All right, don't get lost in your screens. So that's what this guy is right here. How do you feel about the release speed and sets of size in Japan? I'm okay with it for now. I think that last year they did a really bad job of releasing things. Like, there were so many releases during the Christmas time because they were trying to cash in on like the Christmas season and the holiday season, and I think that really hurt. So then they pumped the brakes while they released Union Arena, or sorry, One Piece. Was it One Piece? I think it was Union Arena. Yeah. So they pumped the brakes while they released Union Arena, and then between like February and July, and that was too long. So we got like this huge like wave of thing, like 4 things came out within like the span of like 2 months, and then after that it was like nothing for 6 months, like 5 months, something like that. But yeah, like I was saying, Mugen Dramon typically tries to go for like these really huge turns where they like just punch you for a ton of security in one turn, and then hopefully you can't kill them, and then the following turn they just win. I don't know if it's been working out, but it seems like that's the case here. Cheap level 4s. The level 4s are probably where I have the hardest time building, because I don't really know what to do with the lower end of the deck. So, yeah, Tankmons that are cheap. I've seen other people use something like Numamon here, because he's 3 play and 1 Digivolve, which is a little bit better than the Tankmon. And then Guardramon, I don't really care for the EX1 Guardramon. The newer Guardramon's not bad. It's basically like trash a card, or trash a cyborg or a machine card, and then become like non-destructible for a turn essentially. Give me 1 second, folks. Sorry, just give me 1 second. My bad. I'll be right back. I gotta handle something really quickly. I'm so sorry. Oops, that's not the right scene. There we go. I just had to rip the biggest fart off camera. My bad. Any styling tips for the hair? Don't. Surprising. Yeah, every time I try to build this deck, I've tried to work in some of these Digimon just because I think it's so good. It's so useful whether you just play it out or you have it in inheritance. Yeah, but looks like they want the Dorumon just for the reduced Digivolve cost, because whenever you saw something up under your stack, you get +1 memory, and because you have Chaos Dramon and Chaos Dramon X Antibody there, that's pretty much always going to be like a 3 cost or less Digivolve. Chikurimon is important because stop dropping things and minusing their cost. But yeah, honestly, this one just goes for the like big punch game plan, and honestly, I don't care for it. But I mean, this guy got it to work, I suppose. Yeah, I'm a little frustrated building this deck, if I'm being honest, because I don't know. There's so many good cards that it's hard to put them together that makes one coherent game plan. So, for example, like I like Analog Man. I think he's a great card. In fact, I think he's absolutely necessary for the deck. Also, I think Marcus Jackson is a really good Tamer card. Also, the Black Tie Tamer fits in really well because you don't have to run the level 5s that give you +2000 on your opponent's turn, because you can just use the Tie Tamer and gain memory, or not memory, but gain card draw off of it. So yeah, I don't know why you would want to run like the memory boosts over something like the Supreme Connection, I think that's what it's called, not the Curry Connection. Oh, I forgot, I didn't do this on the video last time, so let me. Not Tamers. Oh shit! I forgot to zoom in last time, and that was a giant mistake. Oh, typing too fast. Yeah, Supreme Connection. Look at top 5, add a machine or cyborg to your hand, then trash one, and then put the rest back at the top of the deck in any order. This card is so good. So good. I guess because maybe this guy, and then delay whenever you play level 5 or higher, -3 from the cost. I guess this guy was going for, where are we at here? I guess he's going for more like evolution, but I don't know. You're only running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 level 3s. Ugh. Yeah, there's so much in this deck I want to fit in, but I just never have the time. Mugindramon too. Like the splits between which Mugindramon, I hate this guy right here. The BT, was it 12, 11 Mugindramon? Or Machine Dramon? I don't actually think his effect is that good. Because I don't want to be bottom decking my Analog Man at all. I'd rather just play this guy out with like Supreme Connection and then minus his cost further. Yeah, I don't know. Also, top end is 2 copies of Omegamon for Blitz for game, Blitz Omni. Yeah, big punch, next turn win game. That's the idea. Let's see. So that's Mugen Dramon or Machine Dramon. Ivan Stryker, that was for you, buddy. Somebody call Ivan, let him know. Really excited to see how Jellymon does. Yeah, Jellymon with the new Tommy Tamer will be interesting. Could you share some Gamamon lists from the current Japanese meta? All right, Billow6941. Whenever I see someone with like numbers at the end of their name, I'm like, what do those numbers mean? I can't figure this one. Like usually it's like a birthday or like a birth year, something like that. But 6941, what could that mean? What could that mean? 42 is the answer to life, universe, and everything. And then 69 is 69. So, but why is it 41? I don't know. Let's see, Gamamon. There are actually 2 Gamamon lists. That's right, yeah. And I think I found 2 more on Twitter. So this one, actually, somebody made a really great comment about Gamamon right now, and like why it was doing pretty decently. I think it's like the first comment here. This guy has some really great insights. Yeah, Silver Dew. So Gamamon is doing well because there's very little bounce removal in the meta right now. Holy crap, he's so spot on right there. He's so spot on. with not many people running Mirage Galgamon anymore, you don't have to worry about your Digimon just getting bounced off the board, which is kind of nice, to be honest. So yeah, against decks like Garuru and Luga, he can be useful just because he has removal effects. Garurumon, yeah, I think he does all right. Lugamon, I think, is a little bit harder, but it is what it is. Yeah, he just so many tools. He's a pretty good all-rounder. But somebody shout out Silverdew, great guy. Not a big fan of Empoleon, but this guy, I like him. All right, so let's see, Gamamon here. Ugh. Bro, how's my day going? Pretty good, pretty good. It's actually almost over. Got a lot done. I woke up this morning, went to the gym, let a guy use the pull-up bar when we were walking there at the same time, and he was like, "Hey, thanks." And I said, "No problem. Let me use it when you're done." And then he looked at his phone for like 5 minutes. I was like, "Thanks, man. Way to go." But yeah, back to Gamamon here. Gamamon gets so much off of... He gets so much off of the new limited set cards. And I don't know how they're going to be released in English, but I hope you guys get your hands on these things like sooner rather than later. The purple Gamamon is incredible. I'm just going to close this. Like, the purple Gamamon is so good. So Digivolves from Gurimon for 0, so you can just slot in Gurimon no problem, even though he's purple. When one of your other Digimons leave right effect, you can Digivolve this guy into a card with Gamamon and its text from your trash without paying the cost. That's so good. And then the real kicker here is whenever he dies, so if he evolves and then dies, you play a hero from your hand for free. The free hero play is so good. There's like 2 classes of tamer, like free tamers that I think exist in the game right now. The first are the like really basic, hey, if you don't have this tamer on board, play this tamer. As seen by, for example, this Greymon. Greymon was the worst choice I could have put in because there's so many of them. 3 pages of Greymons. Thank you. Way to go, East. You're so good. You're so smart. This guy right here. This is Greymon. If you don't have a tamer with tie in its name and play, you can play this tamer without paying its cost. Great, those are fine. But then there's the second level that don't have this stipulation right here. That everything before the comma just doesn't exist. It just says, hey, play the tamer. And that's exactly what that Gamamon card does. Because like, I don't care if you have one on the board, play another one, bro. Play another one. So, yeah. This is so nice. Considering you want to get out as many heroes as possible, this guy's so good. Also, it like forces your opponents like really like consider like what they're going to like destroy on the field. If you have more than one thing on the board, then do you take out this Gamamon because you know he gets bigger, and some of the things that he can become are very scary that have like retaliation, or do you hit the other target which might be bigger than him? So it puts him in like it's really weird dichotomy. And it's stackable too. Oh, you're good point. Yeah, and because Gamamon loves to stack cards up underneath, it's so good. The next card is Bokomon. So just what this deck needed. Search for, grab a Gamamon and its text to your hand, and then he basically acts as like enhanced decoy for all Gamamon cards. So anytime they would leave the field by an effect, rather than just being destroyed, which is decoy, destroyed by an effect, he's like, hey, whenever you would just leave the battle area, don't kill the Bokomon instead. Look at this guy. He's not a real doctor. He doesn't even have a degree. This guy doesn't even have a GED. That's not. Those are shapes, bro. He can't even read. Come on. So let's see. Go back to here. So we see a couple copies of the purple Gamamon I talked about before. Surprisingly, no. Oh, there's the Bokomon. I'm tripping. Okay, I was about to say 2 copies of the Bokomon. Yeah, lots of heroes. Actually, whoa, the hero splits are kind of weird, man. Let's see. Searcher Gamamon, of course. This is the Gamamon that lets you attack active Digimon. 1 copy of Psychemon because screw you, Apocalypse. This is the Gamamon that I think on Inheritance he popped something for 2K. Am I tripping? Oh, it's interesting. He's not here. Oh, is it? No, it's not this guy. Which one is it? Oh, it's this guy. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, on play, pop something for 2k, and then on attack, pop something that's 2k or less. Even degradation. I don't think de-digivolving counts. You can still de-digivolve, I believe. Because the instance of the Digimon is not leaving the field, just the top card of the stack. I think that's correct. Someone double check me. So yeah, attack active Digimon, search plus 2000 in inheritance, play a hero tamer for free, and if something else dies on the board, evolve from the trash, pop something for 2k or lower. Those are all the level 3s. Level 4s, Gulas Gamamon, slap something that's the same DPA or lower, I believe. The older Gulas Gamamon, this Glare is awful. This is this guy right here who just has retaliation if he has a Gamamon card in sources. And then when he's deleted, like the other Gulas Gamamon, you can play Gamamon from trash suspended without paying its cost. So these guys like to recycle your Gamamon and keep something on board, so you always have something that you can follow up on and keep momentum for next turn. This guy is blocker. This guy is evade. I've rarely seen the evade one. That's interesting. And this guy is blitz. And then this is another copy of Gamamon. Jesus Christ. Could they take worse pictures? Is it physically possible to take a worse picture here? This Gamamon here is actually a promo of this card right here. So play a tamer, draw a card, and then whenever you attack, if you've got 6,000 or more DP, pop something that's 3,000 or lower on your opponent's side. This basically is your floodgate killer. One copy of Dorpic is cool. The Regulusmon Ace is nice. Level 5s, the Cannon Vices. And then Regulus Ace is new for this deck. So Regulus Ace actually does some really nice stuff, although his effect is kind of hard to use sometimes. You really have to think about when to use it for like the best timing. On play or Digivolve, trash a card and then place a Digimon with Gamamon as text as this card's bottom Digivolution card. And then on all turns, once you slot a card up underneath this guy, you can delete a level 4 Digimon in place somewhere. And then you could delete, you can play a level 4 from your trash onto the board. So the idea is that you Digivolve or play this guy, Digivolve for the blast, slot something into his sources, pop one of your opponent's level 4 Digimon or lower, and then you can place one of your level 4s from the trash. So if they have a big Digimon only, then you're screwed. There's a lot going on. This deck is really hard to use. I don't think Gamamon's bad, but I think it's very difficult to pilot. Oh, they've got the new Siriusmon Ace too. Dang. There's just so many different like options you have. So place a Gamamon under this card's sources, and then delete one of your opponent's Digimon who's 8,000 or less. And then for each different color you have in this guy's sources, you can add 1,000 to that deletion effect. So typically you're going to be getting like 9 to 10k. Usually like your red and purple. So typically like 10k. But if you like, since this guy runs like blue and green, he could go as high as 12k. Hey Ace, what's up, man? I'm doing pretty well. Hope you are too. Yeah, Dorpic is nice because basically all these guys are like Ceratopsian. So a lot of folks don't really realize that. Well, he's a light dragon, but I think Dorpic takes all dragons basically. Let's see. It's like soul. I don't forget what it is in English, but it's like in Japanese it's one kanji, and pretty much everything has that kanji. So let's see. Yeah, dragon, soar, or Ceratopsian. And because the Gamamon is so good at like cycling cards into the trash or getting them into your hand from the deck, then Dorpicmon is actually pretty good. And then of course, go into Proximamon, and once you drop Proximamon, the game is technically over. Although I will say there are lots of cases I've had where I've played my Proximamon early and I lost as a result. So it's good like once you have like established control, but if you just like ramp up into your Proximamon and there's nothing to do after that, then your opponent can just wait for you to like hit them one security at a time, which is a problem. Yeah, the limited set 2 will be, I want to know how you guys get your hands on that. Yeah, this is weird. Normally people play like the 4-cost hero mono tamer, the one that like lets you rest him whenever one of your, what is it, Gamamon or 5,000 or level 5 or higher Digimon attacks, you can rest him and give him plus 2,000. This one gives, instead uses the 3-cost hero, which lets you give one of your Gamamon security attack plus 1, I believe it is. Excuse me. And then the other ones are the heroes where you can just like rest and then slot another card up under the really good hero mono tamer. So let me see. Who was that? We got Ivan. I think I skipped this guy. My bad. Curious to see the gallant list. Whoever that guy was, that was for you. I really should have written these down. It'd have been way easier to do. Maybe that's a note for next time. I wish you showcased more yellow decks in your videos. Man, this Patamon for Life guy, dang. Some guy said like one thing and he blew up on him. Like, ooh. Let me just keep my head down before this guy starts shooting again. Yeah, he just makes a pretty decent point. I haven't covered like a lot of yellow stuff recently, so I'll do my best to remember to do that. Let me see. When's the LM2 release? Dude, I really wish I knew. I really wish I knew. Wait, that was limited set 1. Never mind, not 2. That was the first limited set. Curious to see that Gallant list. Want to be ready to keep repping my boy. This is a deck that I really like, but I just haven't really like put a lot of time into. Gallantmon or Dukemon? Why is he called Gallantmon in English? What a dumb name translation. Dukemon is such a good name. Why didn't they just keep that? I'm so confused. Fanglong, Mugendra, Digipolice, Yellow Vaccine, Imperial D-Brigade. Did he top? I actually don't see him, my boy. I don't see him. Let's see. Oh, gotta scroll. Hold on, folks. Dukemon will be playable except the Garuru matchup. Yeah, you do. Red is not really defense focused with the exception of Black or Greymon, but I guess it's black. So yeah, I get that. No defense means you just get eaten up by pretty much anything. Although, I mean, you can run a couple option cards. It's Sons of Chaos, Digipolice. Bro, who designed this? We gotta get like an official standard for taking pictures of people who win events. This is the worst. This is like a behind the scenes of like what I have to go through, like trying to find like actual decks or deck lists. Deva, Sons of Chaos, Anubismon. Hey, there's a Tentomon deck. They run like the Valder, Chaosmon or whatever, Valder Arm. 2 copies of the Shenlongmon Ace. Ooh, kind of nasty. Hold up. Dang, Dab's out here just telling on me. He said he didn't care for Empoleon. Nah, bro. Blastoise, that's my kind of water type. But Empoleon, he's just a penguin, bro. He's just a big pangy. Where's this Gallant list at? There's so many Gamamon. Am I tripping? I do usually do my due diligence here. Check myself, but... Oh, there's a shine. Oh, when did that happen? Oh, they didn't say how many people entered. Yeah, I couldn't find how many people entered, so I'm always really wary of those results. Oof. Am I tripping? Gamamon, Yellow Vaccine, Red Fabric, Gallant, Anubis, Mirage, Galgamon. Yeah. Huh. I swear to God, I saw him. I'm not tripping. Yeah, I think. Note to self: if I ever go back and watch this, make a list and get the list of decks beforehand. I think that'll make things a lot easier. Because having to haphazardly go through all these is kind of problematic. It just doesn't have a good flow, I think. Digipolice, Marcus. Oh, no, that's like a yellow hybrid, weird stuff. Security control. Yellow vaccine. That's mill. That's a mill deck. How do you think Machine Dramon will do in BT14? We're currently in BT14, right? After the restricted list update, actually, I don't think that they do that badly. Defense-focused decks can maybe stop Garurumon fast enough. Not always. High roll Garurumon probably just going to kill you outright, but more defensive-focused deck can probably stop a couple swings from Garurumon, who lets you live long enough to get your wall up. Once you get your wall up, I think they have no chance. But getting there is the problem. But now with the Pokemon out of the picture, maybe Chaos Dramon and Machine Dramon do pretty well. That's just my feeling though. Bloom is doing super well versus Apocalypse. Bloom Lord, bro, they don't pay for shit, bro. Bloom Lord's like your friend who goes to the restaurant and just like dines and dashes after the meal. Like, bro, I'm not paying for that, bro. Me and all my boys are here. Oh, this is weird. Excuse me? Elon Musk? What's up, buddy? What happened here? I'm sorry, I don't know. I cannot find that Digimon list. Sorry, folks. Hotaru, I'm so sorry, my man. Catch me on another week. Shit, the Game of Oh, that's the Game of list I took a look at. Yeah. Hey, set sail, TCG Queen. Thank you. JM, thanks, buddy. Have there been any Hercules, Kabuterimon, or Grandis Kuwagamon lists in any tournaments recently? Not really. Grandis, not gonna happen. Hercules, I showed off my Choose Your Own Adventure, so watch the beginning of this stream. Here's your answer. Fall allergies whooping my ass. Yeah, luckily they've gotten a little bit better, but man, in the morning I've just been like popping allergy meds as soon as I get up. No Shine Greymon. Oh, this is the one. Oh man. Please don't do this. Pretty please don't do this. This guy, like every week, will like he'll ask me to show off a deck, and then if I don't, like in like the following weeks' videos, he'll like make really like like passive aggressive comments about how I didn't do the thing he wanted me to do. Don't do this. I truly, like, this actively makes me not want to help you. And I do my best to help everybody. Like, please don't send me passive-aggressive messages about, like, why I didn't, like answer your comment previous weeks. I do my best to answer most comments, but, like, ask me to do something, and then, like, making passive-aggressive comments afterwards is really annoying. Please don't do that. Pretty please don't do that. Actually, that was it. Nice. Not that bad. What do you think the changes to the ban list, restriction list to promos do for the Wests? Is my mouse barking? Yeah, I have, this mouse is like, this mouse is old. I bought this mouse maybe like 5 years ago, and this little sucker is chugging along. But you know, he ages in dog years. He's probably not long for this world now, but yeah. For the changes, you guys are, I don't know. I feel like I can't make anybody happy, or Bandai can't make anybody happy. Because on one half, you're gonna have people who are gonna say, okay, don't ban cards before they're released, or like right after they're released in English. Give us time to see how powerful they were. And then there's the other group of people who are like, I don't want like to be murdered. I don't want to sit through a really shitty, like incredibly overpowered deck, or like dumb strong deck for like 3 months before you guys do anything about it. If you know there's a problem, do something about it now. Like those two opposing sides, you can't make anybody you can't make everybody happy. You can make some people happy, but you can't make everybody happy. So, like, I don't know. I sometimes I sit there and I try to like rationalize both sides of this. The people who say, "Hey, let us see if it's actually broken," or like if it's actually a problem. My argument would be, and maybe it's just because I'm biased, right? It's because I've already played with against the deck for like 3 months or more before the time you guys get your hands on it. So I'm kind of like, trust me, bro, it's broken. And then people say, "Oh, best out of 3 is not that bad." I'm like, well, if it had twice as many wins as any other deck in Japan, like, do you think that's really gonna change? And then I think that they just fall back on, hey, like, best out of 3 is gonna be different. So I don't really know how to reconcile that. And then the other half are like, hey, it's already busted. Ban that shit. I try to rationalize it from Bandai's perspective. Well, I'm undercutting myself and like destroying my own profit margins by banning something in, like, as soon as it comes out. So I don't know. I think one of the APS guys, Alec, who plays Digimon quite a bit, he did a video and he talked about some things that he didn't care for in the Digimon TCG. And one of the things that he mentioned specifically was that he's like, I don't like that we have we have one ban list. Like, I would prefer if we had 2 separate ban lists that were appropriately timed. They can become the same ban list, but like not at the same time. Like ban stuff when it was banned in Japan. I think that's probably the fairest way to go about it. He makes a really good point that Aizumon Scatter Mode in English got hit at the same time as it did in Japan, but nothing is really abusing it, and as a result, Belphomon like just gets hit for no reason, which I can kind of empathize with. I get that. So I think, yeah, maybe the big takeaway is to like, don't make us share one ban list. They can get the ban cards later, but maybe just let them give it some time. Like, don't hit the deck before it becomes a problem. You know what I mean? I feel like I explained that about as clear as mud, but Aizumon, not a problem in English, is a problem in Japan. Don't ban it in English, only ban it in Japan. So yeah, I think that's probably like the happiest medium. That's how you like appease the most people. It's like hit it at the same time that it would have been hit in Japan. So if it happened like a week after in Japan, same thing in English. That way, or at least, yeah, that way the decks that aren't affected right now don't get touched. Yeah, people who say live to see if it's really broken are like, I'm not gonna. Those aren't my words. Those are yours. Yeah. I don't know what you see as Iceborne, so sorry, buddy. Yeah. I guess I'll open the floor up to you folks. Is there anything that you wanted to see? Oh, wait, no. I'm not opening the floor up to you folks. I'm cooking right now. I'm in the freaking kitchen. Friendship officially ended with Mudasir. I mean, Shine Greymon. If you guys know what that reference is from, that's insane. Mudahir? Mudasir? It's Mudasir. Mudahar? Mudasir? Oh, crap. Dementia. It's hitting me. Friendship officially ended with Shine Greymon, now that Geo Greymon is hit. But I've been trying to build another yellow deck, and I don't know how I need to build this deck. Nothing feels good. Nothing. I thought I was like on a doing my 10,000 steps yesterday, and I thought I was cooking. You ever like have one of those moments where you're just like theory crafting in your head? You're like, wait a second, this shit might work. And then you like try it out in practice. You're like, man, what moron came up with this? What absolute trilobite thought this was going to be a good idea? You say to yourself in the mirror. This deck it wants to do too many things. So I'm trying to make a yellow deck. First time commenting. Happy to see your channel grow. Hey, Dracox, thanks, buddy. Welcome. Yeah, I'm happy to see it grow too. It's funny. Sometimes I go back and I look at stuff that I made even like only a year ago, and yeah, it's good. I'm happy. I'm really happy with the fact that my channel is growing. It's a lot of hard work, but I mean, it definitely shows that if you put in effort, it definitely pays off. Kazuchimon Turbo? No. I sold all my Kazuchimons like a year and a half ago, and there are currently none at the card shop. I was very surprised because I was thinking about buying a couple copies just to like try stuff out, and it wasn't the case. Oh my god, I hate this list. I put in everything just so I could see what works, and it just feels like nothing works as a result. So let me see if I can lay out this idea. They have done timed bans before. All right. Yeah, this new Hikari Tamer, I don't think she's good at all. She's got a really nice effect that like seems tantalizing, where if she gets discarded from security by an effect, then you can just give an opponent's Digimon security attack -1. She's a minimum 3 memory tamer, and then anytime when your turn, or both turns, when one of your security by an effect is reduced, you can give something security attack -1. This is honestly not that great. It's more like a defensive tool. Maybe for control decks this would be useful. Like if you're trying something out like, what do you call it? Like if you're focusing more on Venismon, this seems like really useful. Hikari, +1 memory, whenever you gain no security, and then TK is Godsend. The idea for the deck is not... I don't think it's that bad. I really don't think it's that bad. So you go... Move everything off screen that you don't need to see. So you go Patamon. Patamon's effect, go into your level 2. Go into your level 2, or your level 4, excuse me, for free from security into Repamon. Oh yeah, you've got Karomon up underneath. So Karomon gives jamming whenever your security is increased. Patamon goes to security whenever you at the start of your main phase. Digivolve for free, and then put a vaccine type Digimon from your hand on top of your security. So Karomon is already fulfilled. Then you swing with Repamon with jamming, and you drop a security, and the next Digivolve is cost -2. So 0 cost on Digivolve so far. And then you go into your level 3s, so that's already also 1 security on your opponent's side. And then you're at 4 security. This is actually important. Alright, move everything out of the way. So you were at 5 security, but because of Repamon's effect, you have to burn a security to get the cost -2. Got it? Good. And then you go into, for 1 cost, you go into Chinrinmon. I don't know what this is in English, so Chinrinmon for now. On Digivolve, you can burn a security and become active. And then, where's it at? It's somewhere around here. It's hiding from me. Where's the option card at? Here we go. Use one of these cards. Glare is awful. Use one of these cards. Emissary of Hope or Yellow Memory Boost, depending on what you have in your hand or your security, to go into Mitama. Where's my Mitamas? So 1 to 2 cost Mitama. That's a total of 3 for the turn. On Digivolve, he lets you play at level 4. But you have to burn a security. This is the shit. You burn a security to play level 4. The problem is, I need the Bulkmon, and it has Rush for the turn. I need this Bulkmon to somehow have another security here. And the idea is... Oh, I remember now. You attack with the Chinon, or the Mitamamon. And if players have a total of 6 security or less, keep in mind you've hit your opponent's security 1 time, so they have 4 and you have 2. So you have 6 total. You can add a security back from your hand using Chinmon's inheritance effect. So you can put a yellow card, any yellow card, which is incredible, at the top of your security. Now you have 3 security. This is 2 swings, by the way. Your opponent now has 3 memory, or 3 security, and you have 3 security. And then Bulkmon swings for 2 security, because you have 3 or more security at this point. And you hope he lives, I suppose. So yeah, this deck is not great, but I can't find a way to make it good. I thought about going and focusing on Seraphimon or Seraphimon. I just feel like there's something here to the Mitamamon effect. It teeters between like broken, annoying, and bad. Yeah. Oh, to whoever asked if I tried a Snackbox Micro. Strange question, but yes, I did. I currently play on this right now. For Street Fighter 6, maybe it's not the best, but it's still really good. I guess I don't play a charged character, so that's probably why. If I played a charged character, I would say it's 100% the go-to option. But yeah, it feels good. It's great. I have the heavy metal plate. If you don't have the heavy metal plate, it is very loose, and if you like press really hard, it's gonna like jiggle around in your lap, and that's not great. It's a good stick though. It's very good. I bought it like 2 years ago, I think now. When I went back to the States, some guy was selling it online, used, but like barely touched. He like used it like twice and said I'm good. So I bought it from him before I left the States and came back to Japan. So yeah, I don't know what to do with this deck. Let's see. Where do you add security from? You add security from the Chinmon's attack effect. So on attack, if you and your opponent have 6 security or less, you can, from your hand, put a yellow card on top of your security. Any yellow card at all, which is really good. So you get the security back from the Chinmonmon. You go from 2 to 3, and then you can swing with the Bulkmon for 2. The problem is he doesn't have jamming, so he might just die. But I'm like really trying to like focus on the Mitamamon's effect. So let me see. I could just type in Mitamamon, right? There you are. Too much. So this effect is interesting. It kind of feels like a lesser version of Fenrir Lugamon's effect. You trash a card from security, play 1 yellow level 4 card or lower from your hand without paying any cost, and he gets Rush. And then all of you... Oh, he gets Barrier. That's how he survives. I remember. Okay, yeah. So the Bulkmon lives. The Bulkmon lives because it has Barrier. Yeah. That now I remember. And then you are left with a situation where you have 3 security, maybe less because Bulkmon got hit with one of your opponent's security checks, and they have like 2. So I think like only level 4s and higher can attack because of Mitamamon's effect. But it's so specific, and you have to start that combo with 5 security. Otherwise, it doesn't work at all. Set up a Kudamon and Samson for Kintarosmon Warp. Wasn't really focusing on Kintarosmon very much. Because if I get Kintarosmon up, then what? So I was trying to focus on Mitamamon because he gets me another Digimon out. He has some really nice effects on the opponent's turn to give them a blanket -2. He's got Barrier for all my Digimon so they stick around. So I was thinking about this, and then I was looking for other like level 4 or lower Digimon who are useful in this case, and there are a couple. I think Let's see. I'm gonna start with level 4s, but there's actually one card that is not level 4 that I want to specifically take a look at, because I only found this out walking home today when I was doing my 10,000 steps. That's when I do most of my theory crafting. I try to do my best to get 10,000 steps in every day, and that's what I do. I'll just pull up this app or this website here, just like start building stuff. I think Pokemon is interesting. And then, honestly, it's not really much else. I thought about using, like, Anjumon is really good, too. Forgot about Anjumon. Because he can attack immediately, and if your opponent has a virus out, then that virus just gets yeeted like that. The other option is whenever he attacks, you give something else minus 5,000 DP. Probably not going to be that useful, but it's there. And then on deletion, he basically turns himself into security. And then you can hatch a I didn't realize this effect also was the case. He lets you also hatch an egg in the breeding area whenever he dies. Did you guys know that? Where was it? I thought about like the Yokomon, but considering this is an on play effect, it's not that great though. It just gives something blocker for the end of the turn. Although I will say blocker plus barrier is not bad. Another good option is the Wizardmon that released in BC15. So he does have blocker. I guess blocker barrier here. And also you can burn another security and give something minus 6k. I saw some deck out there that ran like one copy of him. One copy actually might be good. But other than that, there's nothing really else you want. Maybe the Gatomon, but it only gives you barrier. Also, it's got this effect that whenever your security is reduced, you gain a memory. But I don't know if... Do you miss a timing here? So if you use Mitamamon's effect, you trash the security and then play the Terramon or the Gatomon. The Gatomon misses the timing for that security you just dropped, right? Because it wasn't around when that happened. So you wouldn't get the free memory off of it. So maybe that's not that useful either. Mimicmon? What's Mimicmon? Let's see here. But you can swing with it. That's true, yeah. You can swing with it, barrier, and then gain memory that way. The problem is I'm so worried about that combo because if you barrier yourself, if you barrier and you use the effect, I think you only have 2 security left. So real scary. Chimeramon DNA for the yellow deck because of the fact they expect a level 4. You need one more level 4. That's the problem. Mimicmon. If you have 3 less security, gain 2 memory. That's not bad, actually. On play, if you have 3 or less security, you're definitely going to have 3, which is useful. Not bad. Let me put that over on the list. Gato misses. Thank you, Ray. Bro, let me throw down my Shoutmon X4, bro. How sick would this be? It's kind of funny. Let me drop my Shoutmon X4 off of my Mitamamon. Will the new Terriermon deck be good? I think the deck itself will be fine. It feels like every instance of an advanced deck we get, or like a structure deck we get, is actually really good. Take, for example, the Impmon. Impmon structure deck by itself wasn't that bad. Like, if you just pop into the game and you use that deck, you do pretty decently. And then you could just pay a couple bucks and upgrade it and make it really strong. But yeah, looking for yellow level 4s, there's really not much. Again, Shaman X3. This Pokemon doesn't have any effect, so it's kind of useless. Most other stuff just has like on evolve effects. I thought about shooting Starmon, but that's an on deletion effect. I don't want him to like die because he has barrier. So yeah, there's really not a lot of great choices. I think that these are probably the best ones for level 4s. maybe Gatomon. I thought about if I could like somehow shoehorn Mastamon in here, but it's too much. Like there's just too much going on. Draw 2, really not that great. I don't really care about. I'm trying to like win the game or like be in a really, really strong position. Anjumon from BT8. Oh, the one that recovers on evolve. I love the artwork here from Koki. This is so good. Oh, I learned today during the Digimon movie. Did you guys know this? Shakomon is DNA Digivolve of Anjumon and Armadillomon's involved? Ankylomon, that's it. Yeah, Ankylomon. Ankylomon plus Anjumon makes Shakomon. I was today years old. Gatomon's armor form? Oh, you mean this? Why? Because if 2000 is alright, I suppose, but I can't use the armor effect because there's no Gatomon. It's just Mitamamon plays it and that's it. For level, I will say, level 3s, there's a really interesting choice here, like a super interesting choice. If you don't have one of these guys, and it is this fella right here. Lucamon, you get 10k DP, and you immediately recover the security that you had to drop from Mitamamon's effect to actually get him out. You get a 10k Digimon just there, out there. And he has barrier, and he has 10k. Mostly I'm just focused on the fact that he has 10k. I thought about if there's a way to like put like fall down mode in here, but that's too expensive, so you're probably not going to be adding him in. Oh, the fall down mode anyway. But yeah, Lucamon by himself is actually not a bad choice. Just a big fat level 3. I was looking for some of the other level 3s, but also not that great. It's mostly just like search effects. The other one that I found was... let me see. Where was it? Ah, this guy here. Yeah, this Kudamon is actually really good. If you have 6 total less cards between both players, you can just play a Tamer for free. That's pretty good. It's an on-play effect, though. And you have to have this 6 cards total, or 6 security cards total effect online, which I think is really hard to do. So most of the time, if you're just playing this guy, you feel really, really bad. Pulsemon. Ah, yeah, I did take a look at this. This Pulsemon is actually really good. For the deck, if you have 3, which I think you do, because Mitama, you go to 2. You won't have 3 until Mitamamon swings, so maybe this Pulsemon is not the way. Although you will get the free memory, so. If you have, to this guy on play, if you have more than 3 security, draw a card, and if you have less than 3, gain a memory. So in this case, you just gain a memory, I suppose, and then he could just run in and die. Is Boeki or Barrier a... Can you choose when to use that effect? Yeah, you have to. You must be able to choose. Otherwise, you could just, like... Opponents could just run to your Digimon and force you to just burn security. You should... I think you still have the choice, right? So... There's actually not some... There's not bad choices here. Yeah, you do both at 3, which is really nice. So if you can get to 3, you get like card drop plus the memory. But with this deck, the Mitamamon, unless you skip, for example, the Repamon's effect to reduce your Digivolve cost, then you're gonna be at 2 memory or 2 security. Yeah, the Repamon forces you to burn a security, so you're at 2 by the time you get to Mitamamon. The Lopmon package? Yeah, I don't want to run the Lopmon Tamer. Although, who knows? After this structure deck comes out, I might be changing my tune. It's this chick right here, Suchung Wong. That is absolutely not her name in Japanese. It's Lee Shou-chan in Japanese. Lee to Wong. You can play a Lopmon for 3. If you have 3 or 4 security cards, draw a card. Oh yeah, isn't the level 5 for this like kind of good? Hold up. Antilamon, that's I always forget that name. Antilamon. Let's see. Very late and off topic, but in regards to Apocalypse stuff, what if they did a clause saying card A can't be played in the same deck as card B, Guru A, Guru X A, B Apocalypse, for example? Yeah, I think some people, bullshit, but I think some people were talking about that. I think, doesn't Vanguard have that? East doesn't like the children? Nope. Like Michael Jordan, I'm not missing that free throw. No kids getting free Jordans this year. That's this guy here, this Sentilamon, yeah. If you have a Suchung Wong and play, your Lopmon can digivolve to this card for 3 costs, ignoring then you can trash top card security. Oh my god, no. Bro, I'd be double Boeking, or Boeki, or sorry, I keep saying Boeki. Boeki is just barrier in Japanese. I barrier plus like trash another security to unsuspend. I'm killing myself. My enemy does no work. I do it all for them. Bouncing back to the choice restriction. I guess choice restriction is a thing, but honestly, if I'm thinking about how to like get people into the game as simply as possible, choice restriction just doesn't seem like a really good answer to me. Because then, like, suddenly you have to remember these things that aren't printed on card text, I guess. But I guess you could also argue that... let me think about this. Hold on. Let me think about this. Technically, the restriction list is something also that's not on card text, so the argument fails there. In that case, maybe choice restriction is not that bad. Although it does force you to keep in mind some, like, weird stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's okay. Personally, I don't care for the choice restriction. I think maybe that's just like my gut with no logic backed up behind it, but it sounds like it's actually probably okay. This Antilamon, yeah, I'm not messing with this guy. This is not an alliance deck. Yeah, it could be a good way to balance some cards. Cosmic Angel, thanks for the nice compliment. I appreciate you, man. Yellow's about to yeah. Yeah, Terrence, I actually, playing the deck, I was like, I need ways to recover a little bit so I just don't die. But the more I think about it, maybe my game plan isn't that bad. Because I guess the only time it falls apart is if Mitamamon comes down and I have less than... I started the combo with less than 5 security. If I don't use Repamon's effect, I can go into... I can, like, start the combo at 4, which is okay. Basically, every time my opponent hits me, my combo to win becomes harder to accomplish, though. That doesn't feel great. If you pair Mitamamon with Venusmon to ensure some kind of security... So, here's the thing. Terrence, I had this idea as well. Anytime I... How to say this without sounding like a jerk. I almost always disregard... Unless... Sorry, I'm trying to like collect my words in a way that's okay. Anytime someone recommends a deck to me that forces me to play 2 level 6s to win, I kind of ignore that idea. It's so hard to get 1 level 6 out. Getting 2 is nigh impossible to do and then not die in the process of that happening. Unless it's like the black Gabumon and Agumon deck where they just like chain Digivolve each other. Yeah, it's so hard to get 1 level 6 out. Getting 2 out is so tough if I'm not playing like Royal Knights or some deck that just like gets the other one out by virtue of getting 1 down, right? So is the rest of the deck to get back to 5 security? No. I mean, honestly, between Mitamamon, the Repamon... Huh? What's it in English? A Repumon. Oh, level 5s. I'm stupid. I was right. Yeah, between the Repamon here who lets you trash a card and reduce Digivolve cost by 2. This is a fantastic idea, by the way. Great card. What if we put training on a card? Shinrin. Oh god, what is it in English? F. Shinrin? Shoot. Welcome to my struggle. What is this card called in English? A couple of these. What is your name? Chirin. I'm so stupid. Chirin. Yeah, the Chirinmon. Like these cards here, Mitama, Chirin, and Repa, you're running 4 of each. Unless you run my stupid ass deck in this, in which case you're running everything and nothing works then. Outside of that, you're also running like 3 of these guys, probably like 2 of him. You could probably cut Gatomon. Maybe you just don't use Gatomon at all. So security minus, security minus, security minus. You could also opt to run the level 3 Lopamon, I think it is. Not Lopamon, it's Protomon. Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he at? Run a couple of these. Throw in 2 cute ones because we hate our opponent. Yeah, this guy right here. So this is Salamon in English, not Protomon. Interesting. Start of your main phase, if you have 3 or less security, you can add... If you have 3 or less, sorry, if you have 3 or more, you pull a card from your security, add it to your hand. If you have 2 or less, you take a card from your hand, that's Vaccine, and add it to the bottom or the top of the security stack. So you basically like teeter on 3 all the time. Maybe a couple copies of him. The only other time you're really healing or recovering is probably off of the level 5s and the Angemon. Everything else is security minus, which is, maybe that's where the problem is, that there's too much minus and not enough plus. Maybe if I focus entirely on the Mitamamon effect, it does work out. Alright, hold on. A thing I haven't done yet is actually look at... oh yeah. You can use Holy Angemon or Magna Angemon Ace to also recover. But his effect's not that great. You might... maybe you have to just use him anyway. I think for this deck, because you're typically going to have not a bunch of security, maybe Angemon Ace is actually the better choice here. And then maybe like an Angemon X antibody. Hold on, this boy might be cooking. Angemon Man. Maybe you run a couple copies of her, and then like, or like one of her, yeah, something like that, maybe. Because she recovers if you have 3 or less on either turn, which is kind of nice. So you're gonna lose one here with her evolve effect or own play effect because you drop a security to give something minus 6k. And then when that happens, if you have 3 or less, you can recover. So if you have 3, then you're fine. But if you have more than 3, then you're just holding that security. You're just losing it. Then maybe the follow-up is like go into Angemon X antibody for 0 to recover. And then you can go into Shinrinmon or Mitamamon. You get less offense there, but yeah, Lucamon is not bad just because he's a free security and he's 10k. This is this is how you know I played too much Agumon. Big number is good, yes. And let's, all right. I don't have too much more time, but I do want to take one more look at this. Hold on. Maybe. Just maybe. Let's actually look at the combo one more time. Let's throw this in for good measure. Chirin, did I have it? Yeah, alright, that's Chirin. Patamon. Put that there too. Pokemon I have. Yeah, that's all I need right there. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so the idea is that... Let's imagine that... These green security are my opponent's security cards, right? And these yellow security are mine. All right. So we can see these here. All right. So the ideal turn, right? Patamon comes from the raising with the Cattlemon up underneath him. And Patamon activates, go into our security, and we grab a Repamon. And we Digivolve for free. And then we throw another card back into our security. Cattlemon gives us jamming. Do I get the +1 from Patamon here? I'd imagine so, right? Because you Digivolve. And then after that, you shuffle your security and then you add a card that's a vaccine to your security stack. So I guess he would see it at that point, right? Okay, cool. So I'm +1 memory in this case. All right, so that's... Then, with jamming, we swing our opponent. Our opponent loses 1 security. It's jamming, so we're probably going to live because no one's running Hades Force anymore. Cost -2 on my next Digivolve. So I'm already at 4 for the turn. Digivolve for 1 into Chidinmon, right? Oh, wait a second. Before I went too far. I swung with Repamon. I also lose the security. So we both lose the security in that swing. Because I activate Repamon's effect, who says burn a security, and then next Digivolve is cost -2. Then we go into Chidinmon. So that's a 1 cost Digivolve. So I'm at 3 again. And then I use Chidinmon's Evolve effect. I burn a security. And I unsuspend him. Again, now I'm at 3. Then we go into Mitamamon. Mitamamon says, hey, little bro, burn a security. I'm at 2 again. And now you can play level 4. And it has Boeki or Barrier. And it has security attack +1 because it's Bulkamon. And it has Rush. Now, I can use Bulkamon to attack. He attacks. And maybe I have to burn a security. Let's just imagine we burn 1 security. I'm so terrified at this point. But our opponent loses 2 security. Maybe during the course of my checks, he just hits a bomb and dies, or hits like a big Digimon and dies. Boeki will save him because of the security. And then the second one, I said, you know what? Screw this guy. He's just going to die. I'm not going to let him barrier for the second time. This is actually not a bad scenario. Because after that, I swing with Mitamamon. And my opponent is at 1 security. Wait a second. Rewind the clock. Yeah. Ron, you got it. I mistimed or misordered my effects here. So, swung once. Yeah. So my opponent's at 4. Let me rewind the clock here. My opponent's at 4 security. I had the Bulkamon out. Bulkamon, where'd you go, buddy? Is that you? Oh, that's you. Okay. So, yeah. All right, rewind the clock. So, all right, so Bulkamon's out. I need 3 security to get the security attack +1. So I actually have to attack first with Mitamamon. Mitamamon says, hey, little bro, if you and your opponent have 6 security or less, which we do, you can put a card on your stack. Look at that. And then, swath here. That's 1 gone. Then, Bulkamon swings here. He takes out 1, I take out 1. And then he dies. This is not a bad scenario. All things considered, now a Digimon of level 4. Play Odin's Breath. I'm at 0 memory at this point. And if my opponent has more than... I'm struggling here. You lose a security plus if you barrier after the first check. Ah, really? That's a good point. Yeah. Shoot. So if I barrier after the first check, he doesn't actually get anything at all. Damn. Wouldn't it be better to play level 4 or level 3 from the when attacking of Mitamamon that gives you a recovery and recovery from Chinnonmon? I mean, that's fine. I mean, I get there either way, right? Like I play the Digimon, use the effect immediately, or I play the Digimon attack, use the effect, and then I can use his effect. Let me try one more time. Just 5 and 5. Hold on. Try once more. All right, so Patamon with Kyautomon comes out. Patamon's effect, I can Digivolve into the Repumon in my security for free. Patamon's effect also says put a vaccine up underneath bottom of security. That activates jamming. Repumon swings. I burn a security during attack to make my next attack, my next Digivolve cost -2. He also loses a security from the swing. It's jamming, so I live. Also, Patamon also gains 1 memory, but that's here nor there. After that, for 1 cost, because it's cost -2 from Repumon, going to Chidinmon. Chidinmon Digivolves. We burn another security here. And he unsuspends. Then for 3, we definitely have left, we go into Mitamamon. Mitamamon says that we can use the effect now or on attack. So let's not use it now. Let's use it on attack. So I'll attack with Mitamamon. I cannot use the Chirimon's effect then. I have to use it now. Chirimon's effect says that we both have to have 6 memory. So, or 6 total security. And I have 7 right now. So I have to use the effect here. Wait a second. Tripping myself up. Repumon burned 1. Chidimon burned another 1. Oh, wait, I'm good. No, I'm right. So I'm down 2. Then I would go into Mitamamon. And then on attack, I would burn it here. And then play the Bulkmon. Alright. Oh, no, because now I can't stack it back, though. Yeah, no bueno. It has to be on Digivolve. So on Digivolve, burn a security, play Bulkmon. I'm stuck here, actually. So swing here, stack card back on security. That's another one of my opponents gone. And then I have to hope that Bulkmon just lives off the Boeki or the barrier, right? Because it's 1. And then the moment I have less than 3, then I lose security attack +1. So I have to just hope for the check. Oh, man. Digivolve in the second Chidinmon? If I do that, my turn's over. I'm assuming that I start the turn with 3 memory, and I go up to 4 because of Patamon, and then actually my turn's already over, isn't it? So 3, 4, 0, 1, 3. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So everything up until Repumon is free, and then once I go into Chidinmon, I have to pay 1 cost for that, and then I have to pay 3 costs for the Mitamamon. So in this case, I'm at 0, and if I do anything else, my turn's over. Why don't we play a second Repumon? What's the point? I play Repumon, and then what? He doesn't have jamming, so if he swings, it doesn't matter. Blinding Ray, let's go. Yeah, Jack Alexander, I kind of agree. This seems too fair to be viable. Oh, Repu does have barrier, that's right, yeah. So what? Repu can swing. I barrier. Still doesn't feel great. Because I really can't do anything else after that. I guess I could Digivolve for 1, but then my turn would be over. Oh, you're talking about with the Mimicmon? If I actually go into Mimicmon and I gain 2 memory, I go back to +2. I go back to +2, and then... Yeah, I'm still Digivolving for cost. I can't get Repumon and Mimicmon up at the same time. Shady Water. He can give... I believe, yeah, he can give any Digimon jamming, but the problem is... when he's on the board and I'm swinging, there's nothing else except the Repumon. So I have to give him jamming. Unless I want him to just die prematurely. Yeah. Yeah, let me think about it. This one's kind of a tough one. Yeah. It's kind of cool that... Yeah, maybe I just go with... maybe I just go with Lucemon. We just run Big Fat Angel Boy. And hope for the best. So this starts with 3 memory with how many? With all my pieces in hand, yeah. Optimistically, that's how this turn starts. Yeah. So I thought about it. And as I did this combo, I thought to myself, well, I don't feel so bad if the total amount of security on me and my opponent's side is... I don't feel so bad if the total amount of security on me and my opponent's side is low, because that way they can't run in with level 6. That's huge. So I'm kind of okay if they've just been building and raising. The problem here is that Mitamamon isn't as oppressive as Venusmon. Where in the case that Venusmon would stop effects, Mitamamon just gives everything a blanket security attack -2. And because of that, they still get their effects. And they can technically still attack. So I still just die to something like a Finner Lugumon. They look at me like, they say, hey, thanks for doing all that work for me. I'm going to just kill you now. And I'm like, well, security attack -2. And they're like, okay. Initially, I'll swing, and then I'll do no damage. And then I'll just blow up your Mitamamon, and then I'll unsuspend, and then I'll just kill you after that. Yeah. Can't they kill with like retaliation? Yeah, exactly, like this. Mitamamon doesn't have like the oppressive ability that Venusmon has, so we run into that issue too. If you stack Odin with Kirinmon, maybe. Hold on a second. I'm not trying to give my opponent 5 memory to work with, though. I mean, if that's the case, my opponent will they'll just focus on wiping my board instead of just trying to kill me, right? They'll be like, all right, well, that's cool. Let me just kill your Mitamamon, and then the following turn when you have nothing else on the board and you can't have any effects, then I'll just kill you then. Yeah, I'm looking at Odin's Breath, but 5 memories a lot to give away. Like, even if you do Mimicmon and then Odin's Breath, you're still giving your opponent 3 memory to work with. Oh, if you trash it with an effect? That's a good point. I suppose so. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I thought about that wrong. Yeah, let me think about it. I may just end up going with Seraphimon, but if nothing else, this has been a good, like, experiment. Because, yeah, outside of Shine Greymon, I don't really know what yellow does right now. Like, it feels like they've recently just been printing a lot of good yellow cards, but the synergy hasn't, it's been kind of clunky. So, trying to see if there was, like, anything in there I could, like, work around. Also, like, an opponent playing Anubismon, it's so ignorant that Anubismon's effect is a main effect. It should just be an evolve effect. That's so crazy to me. It's so wild to me that they can just do this effect as a main once per turn. So the effect he gets initially on Evolve, where he just trashes 3 cards and then plays Mervamon for free for, yeah, essentially 4 memory for free, for plus memory. He can just do again the following turn. So when he drops, you have to kill him. You have to. Otherwise, you just get steamrolled because he just keeps raising stuff out. Yeah. That's true. I mean, there's definitely going to be more yellow cards in the X6. The question is, does it work? Do they work well with the current stuff we have? Or do we have some weird, like, yellow plus archetype where it's like Fanglongmon, right? Where it's yellow, but it's not really yellow, you know what I mean? Almost seems like Mitamamon is better after some damage is already done and you use to close the game for 3 swings. Yeah, Joe, you might be right there. And if that's the case, I need to find a way to get, like, 3 swings on the board already. They printed reduction on Duffmon. Yeah. Leopardmon. I think Leopardmon's cool, though. I don't really care for green decks, but Leopardmon's a really neat idea. I tried it out with Deva. I tried it out with Angoramon, which is really fun. Albeit a little clunky, but cool concept. And then Leopardmon X Antibody is just a Michael Bay movie. It's just like Leopardmon plus Explosion. Look at that. It's just Leopardmon with an explosion. How cool is that? Plot twist. The game is the point is to make the game go faster. When your opponent thanks you, thank you for doing my work for me, so that I might get to the next round a little bit faster. You're so kind. Now we can both have lunch before our next round. What a great guy. Yeah, I don't really like this. I've only intentionally bought 1 alt art in the entire game since its release, and that is Metal Edamon. but I might get Leopardmon next antibody. This, you can't, there's nothing you can say to me that just doesn't make me feel this is not the most amazing artwork in the world. This is so sick. All right, so I think I've done my job here. I've looked up a couple of decks. I think I've inadvertently just given a sort of green deck profile for Tintamon, which is probably not that great, probably a little outdated. And then we try to do the deck building for Mitamamon. I think, folks, it's also 11:30 here. I think I'm going to end it there and call it for the day. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys had fun. I definitely did. It's good to just theory craft, and I think this is a good way to just like get rid of or get through all of those comments on videos. Say, hey, can you show this deck, or can you show this deck? Just note to self, I need to create a list and just like bam, 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 bam. That makes it a lot faster and just a lot more streamlined. Probably better viewing experience too. Recovery stall, yeah, that's an option. If I'm gonna do that though, I might just go into Lucemon. Lucemon gives me the recovery immediately. We'll see though. Anyways, folks, yeah, thanks again for hanging out. Hope you guys had fun, and look forward to the next meta report on Monday. If you're a member, look forward to it on Sunday. Anyways, folks, I'm gonna get out of here. Folks, have a great night, great afternoon, great day. And if you missed it or you just got here, like my man Crestfallen here is, then catch the VOD. Yeah. Talked about a lot of cool stuff. Talked about the movie as well. Yeah. Hey, folks, y'all be good. Catch you the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.